Wyoming.
All right, it is 6:30, so I'm going to reconvene the school board meeting of the Osceola Board of Education for Wednesday, October 11th, 2023 to order. I'd ask everyone to stand if able and recite the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to the School District of Osceola Board meeting. Your presence here today demonstrates your commitment to our community, our schools, and we appreciate the engagement. Before we begin the public comment portion of this meeting, I'd like to outline the rules and guidelines for public comment. These rules are designed to ensure that the public comment period is productive, respectful, and orderly. However, there are a few guidelines that need to be followed. We have a 5-minute speaker time limit to address the board. We kindly ask that you keep your remarks within this time frame to allow everyone the opportunity to speak. We expect all speakers and attendees to maintain a respectful and courteous tone during their comments. Personal attacks, disrespectful language, or disruptive behavior are unacceptable and could result in you being asked to leave the meeting. Public comment should relate to matters that fall within the jurisdiction of the school board. If your comment concerns a specific agenda item, please mention it at the beginning of your comments. Please refrain from discussing confidential or personally identifiable information during your comments, as we cannot address such matters in a public forum. Public comment is an opportunity for you to express your views, but it is not a forum for back and forth discussion or questions. The board members may choose to address comments during the remarks or request further information at a later time. We had all speakers sign in at the beginning of the meeting so we can get an accurate record of those who have commented, and I will call the speakers in orders in which they have signed in. We value your input and appreciate your cooperation in following these guidelines. Your perspectives and insights are invaluable as we make decisions that impact our schools and our communities. First up, we have Angela Anderson regarding bullying at OES. If you would come to the podium, that would be great.
I said anything if I had to come up.
Oh.
First of all, I just want to thank the teachers. I know that they have a really hard job to do, and they work hard. That's a tough job. But as a grandma, I'm coming to you to ask, or to tell you about my concerns about the elementary school and what is going on there with discipline and the communication. I won't get into details because I know everybody knows what it is. And I'm also concerned about the high school English teacher posting her dissertation out there. I saw that on Facebook. So I'm just concerned. I'm a grandma, and my kids went here. I went to Osceola, babysat Craig. So I'm just concerned, and I want you guys to be aware that there's a lot of concern, and it's not just mom and dads. Grandma and grandpas are concerned too. That's all I have. Thank you. Oops.
Next up we have
Alina Hayes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alina Hayes, room clearing and harassment.
Discipline. I know.
Sure.
I ran out of room.
Sorry.
So good evening. I'm Alina Hayes. I've been very boisterous about this lately. We've had a lot of instances where children 6 years old are witnessing people get punched and hit constantly, repeatedly. It's putting a very mental strain on my own children. And it's really concerning to me that I feel like we are letting this be acceptable to the point where I'm worried they're gonna grow up thinking abusive relationships is normal or acceptable. We know that, I know for a fact that an email, has gone out, and the new rule is we will inform the first graders' parents when kids are removed from their classroom because of one student disrupting. And that's great, and I've seen it work now, and that's great. But why is it just this first graders? I know kindergartners have been removed classrooms, so we're removing 18 students from learning and interrupting their day because of maybe one child. And then we're sometimes, depending on the time frame, we're moving them into another classroom, so we're disrupting 19 more kids learning. This isn't right. And then I come to find out we're watching YouTube. And it's not always educational. We're watching Bluey. This isn't okay. This is prime time to learn and grow. And when looking at what, something that you guys have just passed on March 21st, the student harassment, calling kids names and bullying, and it talks about how it's gonna be unacceptable and it's gonna be learning, but really what we're finding out is these kids that are causing these, some of these issues. I get it, we all have problems and we're young and we need to work through them and need a safe place to learn and understand our emotions and grow and get through them. But we can't reward them. We can't give them candy. We can't let them have a brand new stuffy and walk back into a classroom where they didn't have to apologize to the child that they hit. They didn't have to show any sort of remorse or throwing books that teachers have bought with their own hard-earned money. And the teachers are the ones that are picking this stuff back up. It's really sad. It's heartbreaking to hear a 5-year-old talk about it, a 6-year-old talk about it. To have my daughter come home and tell me, my teacher literally put a daughter behind her so that she could get kicked and hit so that the student wouldn't. I hope you guys take this seriously because it's scary. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Nicole Lewis with Rum Clearing.
Oh, you can just say that then.
So I thought that was a sign-in sheet.
You don't have to speak.
No, I'm
Okay.
just kinda, my name's Nicole Lewis, I have a first grader, just kinda bouncing off what Elena said. I think my main concern is just why we are removing 18 children from a classroom, like disrupting their learning process versus taking out that one child that's having these behaviors. Like she said, it isn't just this year, it's last year too. My son fell behind 13 math lessons because of one child's behavior, and it comes down to safety too. Like, this one kiddo broke their door handle, and like, God forbid somebody came into the school, it's like their door couldn't lock because of this child's behavior. So I guess my main concern is just like, why are we removing our children from this learning environment because of one child's behaviors? Why aren't they going to the principal's office? Why aren't the parents being called? That's my main concern. Last year my son came home and he said, Mom, I got punched in the face today. I'm like, oh, I didn't hear from anybody about that. Like, I shouldn't have to hear from a 6-year-old about that, 5 at the time. And nothing, I just found out that nothing was done about it. He was sent to the gym to shoot hoops and self-regulate and came back 5 minutes later. So, yeah, my main concern is just why they're being removed versus the one and falling behind on their academics. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have the consent agenda. Or you have that before you. What is your wishes? Motion by Craig, is there a second? Second by Cory, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 5 is Administrator Department and School Board Committee reports. Item A is the Kids Club Department report.
Hi, I'm Michelle McManny, Kids Club Director, and I just want to let you know we had a great year. We ended up $15,000 above budget. And the main 2 areas of our program that really keep us alive and above is the Department of Children and Families through the state has stipend grant money that's available that you have to apply for it, and that's been available since COVID. So last school year, we were awarded $94,645. And that money can be used for benefits, supplies, payroll. We actually were able to replenish a lot of games, toys, educational things that we normally wouldn't have been able to buy. So we were able to kind of stock up on all that. Staff was also able to have a little stipend each month, and that money will keep continuing as long as it keeps getting approved for childcare. They're really kind of concerned about that now, that childcare is needed and to keep childcare centers open. So whether or not that continues, I don't know, but that's what we were awarded last year. And then the other part is our summer program. The 6 weeks this past summer, we're able to bill $90,537. So those two programs really keep us going. And the summer program helps a lot of people, a lot of support staff work for us. Bus drivers, we need bus drivers for swim lessons and places we go. A lot of businesses as well. We do our Pizza Fridays with the local pizza companies. That's like 25 pizzas every Friday. I don't know if the delivery person really likes that, but anyway, and then we do Dairy Queen and bowling, and we do the library every Monday morning. So that's a lot of books and movies that get checked out that normally wouldn't. So I think 90 kids times, they can pick up to 5 or 6 items. So that really helps the library a lot too. And what else? Library, we did the park service. The junior ranger program meets us at Schulberg Park. So they do mucking and all kinds of things like that. The only thing that people pay for extra would be swim lessons. And we did have 47 kids take swim lessons. We could have had more, but they only had so many instructors. So hopefully next summer we can even have more people take swim lessons. And we bus them over for that too. So we have a bus. Thank goodness the bus drivers work in the summer because it's just a revolving bus that goes and. But anyway, so what else? The only thing, so that was a great year, great summer. This year, the only thing that's been challenging so far is staffing. But I'm very lucky that I have retired people that come back to help. People that have moved on from Kids Club for more hours or more pay. When they can come back and help and stuff, they do too. So that's the only thing that's gotten us off this school year, and where we can take all the kids that we've taken. So we're at full capacity, the most kids we've ever had. So I'm thankful for that. And my regular staff too, they really just step up and work hard. So I thank all of them. My goals, I think, would be security. In the morning, we have the door locked. And some parents have asked, well, why don't you do that after school? But that's really hard. I've talked with Andrew, and I think we've talked about it, Becky, that there's just so many things going on. And to have, someone at the door, I don't know what the answer would be intermediate, So that's probably my only challenge or goal, is to kind of figure maybe something out for that. But the playgrounds aren't fenced either, so even if we lock the front door, I think they just come around and grab their kids from the side. But anyway, so any ideas or things on that? That's all I have.
How many kids did you have in the summer program?
We averaged about anywhere from 85 to 92 a day.
Do you think you have a capacity?
Yeah, well, I would, if I had more staff, but also we're kind of tight. We'd have to have another room too. We kind of already take over that whole wing and commons at the intermediate. Part of the library, so I mean,
because you were full, right, and had a wait list?
Yeah.
So, I was just wondering, going forward, looking towards next summer, when you put that on your radar.
Yeah, I usually do 100 kids, 110, and they all kind of have vacation week credit, but August is hard, that third week, second, third week, you have college kids going back, you have sports starting, so then my high school kids are, but it always works, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is your capacity number? I know there were some issues when school started, people
Yeah.
couldn't get in and whatever.
Yeah, our ratio is 17 or 18 to 1, so we have high school kids too that we can kind of expand that a little bit. And there's still teachers in the school for a little bit after, but I'd really keep it at, 20, I don't wanna go over that.
So how many kids do you currently have in Keys Point?
Well, we average 75 to probably 90 a day at the elementary, and about 40, 42 at the intermediate after school. But they don't all come every day, so it's,
Right.
you know, some come one day a week, some only come in the morning.
Any
Anything
other
else?
questions for Michelle? Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, thanks.
Michelle. Next on the agenda, we have administrator reports. I'm gonna start at the bottom and start with Jessie Thorson, Director of Pupil Services.
Okay. So we had a great in-service on the 25th. 26 staff received their nonviolent crisis intervention training. So that's used for our de-escalation techniques and when to use seclusion and restraint as last resort. So we had half of our staff that needed to be certified in that in September, and then we'll do the other half in October. And then I also worked with the certified aides just on some professional development on inclusive practices, providing accommodations, modifying work, and really just kind of diving into some different technology resources that we can use through Google to kind of enhance some of their work with students in the classrooms. So like I said, half came on the September, and then the other half will receive that training in October, so looking forward to that. And then for the last few years, we've participated in the Early Learning Technical Education Pilot. So really just for our youngest learners, increasing our inclusive practices for those 3 and 4-year-olds in the classroom. And this year we found out we were awarded $15,000 in grant money for that. So myself and one of the special ed teachers, we're going down to Stevens Point, really kind of diving into our data and looking at our inclusive practices and just how we can continue to enhance those programs. We're going to be doing a book study with the early childhood focus team on the preschool inclusion toolbox, so that's exciting. We've been able to purchase some supplies for the 4K and early childhood classrooms, some different kind of play materials, just to really be able to kind of enhance their opportunities for all learners, including the students with disabilities, so that's really exciting. And then our early childhood teacher, she's able to participate in a boot camp for just kind of a new teacher education, so all of that is grant funded, so exciting stuff.
Next up, as I work up backwards, I have Scott Newman.
All right,
Scott Newman.
so, the fall season is already coming to a rapid ending. A couple of WA tournaments have already started, and, with the girls tennis tournament and the, girls golf tournament held last week, with the rest of the next couple of weeks. Cross country has their MBC meet tomorrow in Prescott, and their sectional meet is next week in Rice Lake. With volleyball hosting they have their seeding meeting tonight, so we'll know after tonight where they play next week, and boys soccer will travel to Cedar Falls next Thursday for their first round of the playoffs. Some of our teams already finished their season and had some year-end grades for some of the kids. Their sectional qualifiers in girls golf was Natalie Bjornstedt. And in girls tennis, we had our single players of Emma Strochet and Maisie Gillespie both made it as singles, with our doubles team of Brooke McDonald and Olivia C. made it to the sectional meet last week as well. And today we recognize two of our students as Rotary Students of the Month at the Rotary meeting today in Cedar Falls. And this is September Student of the Month was Emma Strochet, and our October Student of the Month is Cooper Henneman. So they were recognized today at a luncheon today at Cedar Falls at the Rotary Club meeting with 2 other Cedar Falls students. We lost last night. So the girls volleyball team played for Shirley Conference Championship last night in Prescott. We lost in 5.
Thank you, Scott. Adam.
Monday was our challenge day. We put a lot of time and effort into planning that last year, and they canceled it like 4 days before, supposed to be in February. So, we had a lot of legwork done, but it was our challenge day on Monday, so we were able to do this activity with 100 students and 25 staff members. They cap it at that. It's kind of an all-day event. It's a lot of team building, a lot of up and moving, and then there's some deeper conversations that happen, with the whole goal of challenge day being to break some of those barriers down in school. So students are more accepted, to create a culture, to know that they're not standing alone, to help build some empathy. There's some really Gavin, I think you participated in an item. Some really powerful activities in there where students cross the line based on certain life events that they've gone through, and it gives them a different perspective that they're not standing alone. Tuesday we had an all-school assembly, so it was a mini version of that for the 100 kids that probably participated. It was like, yeah, we kind of did this yesterday, but it was an opportunity for about an hour for all of our students and staff to get together to kind of see what Challenge Day is really about, and how we can make our school a better place. Pretty cool. At the end, kids got to stand up and speak some things and talking about being accepting and apologize to people that they might have held a grudge against. So it was pretty powerful couple days for our staff. Aaron and his crew at the high school is a lot of setup. Nicole Brown and Sarah and Michelle were huge behind the scenes. At the end, they followed up with they had small groups, any kid that might have needed a follow-up. They spent the last 2 days all day following up with kids, and the overwhelming response has been very positive. So.
And who brought that on, or like, how did it come about?
I participated in 2 of them in my previous district, and then met with Jesse because we had grant money.
We had some CCEIS dollars we had to spend when we were identified, so we had to kind of devote it to something.
So I brought the idea to Jesse to talk about it, just having participated in it a couple times. It was pretty wonderful. On a side note, the addition of vape sensors has been amazing. So, it was a significant cost, and OMC, a huge shout out to them for that grant. We wrote a grant last year and got $15,000. It was a lot of money. So, but it has been awesome. School's a better place. We're not gonna catch them all, but I tell you what, it's a much better place.
Do you have any in middle school? But not as many as high school?
We have them in the same locations as the high school, but because the high school's bigger, they have more sensors.
Okay.
Like we have 2 in every locker room where, you know, some of those.
Same location, that was
Same
a better way
location.
of saying it, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so our Hex 1 already ends on Friday, which is kind of crazy to think. So we have conferences both this Thursday and next Tuesday, either in person or by phone call. What calls? We just finished up our 6th grade cookie dough fundraiser, so it's a huge fundraiser for us. Thank you to the community for that, because it's a big purchase and prices were increased this year too. It's out of our control, but that's always hard when those things get increased. But that money goes directly to the class that earned it, and it stays with them throughout middle school. They don't pay for anything in 6th grade as far as field trips go, or as like other fun activities go that we have for them, and then we kind of portion out that money so we have enough for 7th grade and 8th grade. So field trips are super expensive to do, you know, fun things for kids is very expensive now. So that hard work pays off throughout their middle school career. So they just calculate everything today. Next week before they go on their field trip, kids will find out who sold the most and get all their prizes right before they go on their first field trip. So that's a fun day for them. Thank you to the PTA. We just had our book fair, so especially to Brooke, she spent a lot of time there, and Amy Bod spent a lot of time in the library selling books. Our teachers were able to put about $2,000 worth of books back into their classroom libraries because of how many books we sold. So thank you for doing that. We have 3 new staff members that I just wanted to do a shout out for, because it is a lot of work to onboard new staff members, and it's a lot of work for them and their mentors and everyone that is involved with them, and these 3 are just rocking it. Devin's been with us on and off the last couple of years, but was able to be hired as a full-time teacher this year, so Devin Stingline is doing such an amazing job. He's got PE in the morning and then Explore in the afternoon, where kids explore some basic Spanish, and then they're doing kind of like an outdoor pursuits in the afternoon. So really fun class for kids, and that's gone super well. Jess Like You is our new 7th grade social studies teacher. She's coming to us with a lot of experience, which is very obvious that she has that experience. But she's so good with kids and just a super positive light in the building, so that's been awesome. And then Martha Shangle just joined us in the library last week, so she got to jump right into the book fair, crazy week of book fair. But she's doing an amazing job too. She's helping with some of our STEM stuff and our Thrive classes, and teaching different groups. So they've done a fabulous job joining our team. Mr. Newton will appreciate this one. Our 8th grade boys just finished undefeated for their season, so that's, great thing, they're super pumped up today about that. And then last on my list, I have two amazing teachers in the room that are gonna present to you about a pilot trip to Washington DC with some 8th graders, so I will pass it over to them. If you can pull up their slides. So I have Mikkel Larson and Karen Gilbertson up there, they're both 8th grade teachers who are super excited to take on this.
We are really excited.
We are. We are excited, I don't know, I would have volunteered to chaperone.
You're
They
very
got it.
brave.
Yeah, so, we want to propose a pilot trip to Washington DC for 8th graders, trial run this year. Amanda said I could back out next year if I involve my experience. You can go to next side, April. So, this is just like the basic information for you to have in front of you as well. It's open to current 8th grade students, who are invited to join us on a class trip to Washington DC. We really feel like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for our kids to experience firsthand the place we learn about. I teach US history. We learn about the Capitol and the White House and all those things. So we want to give that experience to them. It will be in the summer of 2024. We just firmed up dates this week, so June 3rd through June 5th, right after school's out. I have an application form that I filled out that has all of the logistical details. So more finalized details like where we're staying, where we're flying, all those things come as we confirm and move forward. The price per student is $1,899. It's all inclusive. So meals, transportation, hotel, entrance fees, flight, everything that you could ever want to spend is included in that price to get to DC.
All right, so our itinerary, you can see that we have a jam-packed 3 days.
Which includes travel.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're also getting there and leaving on those
We're
days.
making our sleep starting now. I'm not gonna go through each place. The actual order of events could change based on our group size, based on, availability as we get closer, but we hit all of the major things to see in Washington DC. We're traveling with World Strides. They do this is what they do. So we are confident that whatever trip they end up putting together for us will be amazing and hit the things that are important for kids to see.
Why, like I kind of already mentioned, it's to bring history to life for students. I love teaching history to 8th graders, and I want them to also love history too. So it's just like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Sometimes our students don't have that opportunity, so to get them out of here and go experience somewhere else. And it does tie directly to my content standards in 8th grade, as well as ELA standards, and high school social standards as well.
So our timeline, so tomorrow we will be sending out an email to parents, letting them know about this opportunity. We'll also tell students tomorrow, in advisory, or probably before the end of the week.
Yeah.
We are going to have a parent meeting for anybody who's interested in getting more information on Tuesday, November 7th at 6:30. And then our travel dates are June 3rd through 5th. So, do you have any questions?
I do have a couple.
Okay.
Is there a limit to how many can go? What's your chaperone to kid ratio? How does all that work?
There is no limit. World Strides chaperone to kid ratio is 15-1 for adults.
And were you saying something about you wanted a school board member to go with?
We actually need a male chaperone.
Male chaperone.
And we have been pushing it real hard.
I was just asking for
At every
friends.
corner.
I know. Feels just not interested.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems like.
Yeah.
there's something
Greg's
already
going.
Yes.
And then chaperones, staff, parents, how do you?
It can be either.
Okay.
So parents can obviously choose to join their student on the experience. Like I said, it's 15-1, pay like a free chaperone. So I think we really just have to see how many kids are interested.
Sure.
And kind of like gauge it. It's our first time, so
Right.
we're just not really sure what to expect. We've got a lot of teacher kids in this grade, so I'm hoping that we'll kind of get it going and figure out some more kids want to come.
What about the 8th grader that has a cost, or is prohibited by cost? What's the plan for that?
Well, so since the school is not actually sponsoring the trip, there's no funding from the school for that. World Strides has their own fundraising program that we haven't looked into a lot yet. We know it's there. Melanie, our contact there, will talk about that. But I'm envisioning it as a link that kids can send out to family and friends, and people can donate that way.
And World Strides offers scholarships,
So there's an application process. I also haven't looked deep into that, but that was part of our initial conversation, is that they do have like a pot of money to help sponsor kids.
That was my question.
I have a question of, I know I told you I wouldn't ask a question, but I do have a question.
I love it.
Yeah.
You just Natty didn't get
You're just getting back at you. If you're having a dinner, then you're, going back home, is there gonna be like a shuttle from the airport back to the school afterwards, or is like a parent gonna have to come?
Yeah, World
Okay.
Strides provides shuttles to and from, like we would meet at the middle school, they would shuttle us to the airport, they pick us up at the airport and then shuttle us back to the middle school that night. And the cost includes all of our transportation in DC as well, so we'll be traveling together as a group.
What if they would say
All
no?
there.
I would cry.
I said, what if they would have said no, there's no
Oh.
shuttles? You're gonna volunteer, Gavin?
Yeah, that's me, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting, good luck.
Would you have done something like this, Gavin?
I would have, yeah. It sounds like a very, very exciting opportunity.
I did when I was going into 8th grade. I didn't get to, they started it the year after I was in 8th grade, and I was very sad about it. So I've been in talks with the Somerset teacher that does it, where I'm from, so I feel confident in her experience. They've been going for a long time, not since I've been in 8th grade, so I feel confident in what their, like, the package they're offering. And
Do
the
they
fact
have
that we get to fly is amazing. I
Yeah.
rode a coach bus out there. So this is really exciting to me.
Do they have a high participation number at Somerset?
Like waffles, they've had up to like 70. Last year they were lower. And last year she actually tried to pitch me to do a joint trip, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. So
Okay.
I did my research and I'm ready to dive in.
I would love to hear back from the students, how it goes.
Yeah.
Because I won't hear from my own.
Well, you can come with, you can experience it yourself firsthand.
Yeah. My name on the list.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Julie Bender, intermediate school.
Yes, hi everyone. What a great night to have such a big audience because I get to go over my building goals. Yes, so that's great. I'll first quickly start with just a few pieces that are happening at the intermediate school right now. We have our parent-teacher conferences coming up at the end of the month. We always we're just always so happy to open up our doors, turn on the music, and invite families and friends in. We really enjoy it. We cannot wait to open our doors. So that's coming up here on the 24th and the 26th. During that time, we're also going to be hosting our fall book fair. During that, like what Amanda said from the middle school, a lot of those proceeds, they come back into the classroom, which means that we can get more books in kids' hands. So it's always a positive piece. Field trips that we've recently have been through so far. We've been through up in Webster. We go to that historical park with the forts and all the things. Our 4th graders do that. 5th graders just got done with their Crystal Cave. 5th graders will also be heading up to the 8th grade. They do an ELA assignment by sitting in the nature and looking at things and then writing about it. And then our 3rd graders will head to an apple orchard and pick some apples and do some fun things with the hayride. A big thank you to our high school. So homecoming was a very special week at the intermediate school as well. We invited the senior athletes over and it was a lot of fun. They joined our big assembly. We did a kickoff assembly, and then also the Friday of the big football game, they came to lunch with us. And seeing these guys as seniors, they once sat at these tables and saw the football players when they 6 years ago. So it was fun to reenact it all, and they remembered it, and it was just a really cool thing. So just a thank you to the high school. I know I was disrupting a lot of things, but I also there's 2 administrators here that might not want to be like, no, Julie. So thank you. And then so as we're coming up here in October, Roxy Newman, our art teacher, she is donating a ton of pumpkins again, and we are going to be painting pumpkins and delivering them to the community, having them out for parent-teacher conferences and just filling the building with pumpkins. And then we might have pumpkin contests of who can decorate the best pumpkin and all the things with pumpkins. Because why not, right? So just a huge thank you to the Newman Farms and providing that. So that's a free cost, and it's exciting. All right, building goals. Can I stay right here, Dr. Stiles? You sure can. Okay. So every year every year, not only do staff members, teachers set goals, so do all of we, as an entire district, as administrators, and this is just targeting the intermediate school. Our mission statement that has been created by the entire staff states OIS is committed to creating a safe, positive school environment that ensures academic, social, and emotional growth for all learners through collaboration, respect, and compassion. When we write our mission statement, we throw some different words up there and we work together and go around and make it into something that we all truly believe. So this has been our mission statement for a few years now, something that we work on as a staff in August. Those of you who do not know me very well, I guess we can say I am a very big dork when it comes to data. I have many big problems with data because I love it. I love digging into it. I break it down in so many different ways to be able to explain to staff what we need to do for kids. So as we go through this, you'll see just some different ways that I have broken down the data to support the goals that we want by the end of the year, this school year, and we've been putting a lot of work into improving our academic achievement and growth. We all really have met that like collective teacher efficacy that every single kid can learn, and we can make that happen. So for ELA, by the end of the school year, we want 80% of our students that tested below the 70th percentile, and that means on our universal screener, it's MAP, NWEA MAP, and it correlates with the forward exam. That's our state of Wisconsin forward exam that we take at the end of every year in the spring, and it is saying that 70th percentile right now will correlate to being proficient on the forward exam. So that is where we're aiming. Any kid that is testing below that 70th percentile means that they are not going to be at grade level come the end of spring. So it's our job to make sure that we can get this percent of kids to grade level. And the way that we're going to do that, this is something that we started last year. I might even be making hooded sweatshirts for the teachers to wear because I am a broken record when we talk about these pieces, but it all comes down to our tier 1 instruction, and that's the instruction that every single kid is getting, and it's focusing on the Wisconsin state standards. That is what we are teaching, and we have the materials to support that, and we have to always make sure that we're teaching at grade level. I think those are some, the grade level piece is something that we've struggled with at the intermediate school, because sometimes it's very hard to try to present things at grade level when there are groups of kids looking at you having no idea what you're talking about because they're not there yet. That academic achievement has not happened, and when we try to differentiate or bring that level down, it's not truly helping them close that gap. We're just meeting them where they're at, we're not pushing them. So that's something that we've really put into play last year, and we're going to continue doing that. And then the other bullet points are just how we're doing that by analyzing the data, making those intervention groups, and doing our thing, setting those very high expectations. So you're going to see the same thing on the next slide. With all of that, it's broken down by grade level. And then once it's broken down by grade level, I break it down by exactly how many students. So in 3rd grade, there are 52 students that we need to grow. There's 52 students right now that are not at grade level. In 4th grade, there's 59 students not at grade level. And then 5th grade, we're sitting at 48 students. So when we break it down like this, I think it hits the staff, it hits our educators at a deeper level. Knowing that we're sitting at maybe 100 per grade level right now, we have over half that we need to grow, and it's our job to grow them, and we know that we can do that with the supports and everything that we have in play, and with our new materials that we have, especially in ELA that will be supporting those Wisconsin state standards. It's been completely night and day on what we're able to do in ELA classes, but that's where we're at with our ELA data, and this data is taken from the fall, so the students just took these universal screeners, and that's where I'm getting my baseline for the end of the year. And then next it goes into math. So again, looking at that same thing, 70 percentiles grade level, doing the exact same strategies for math and ELA. So on the next slide, it's going to show you exactly where we're at number-wise. We have 55 students that are below grade level in 3rd grade, 61 in 4th grade, and 46 in 5th grade. So again, breaking it down, within the highlighted numbers. What we'll do in staff meetings is, like, the third grade will come together, we'll look at these 55 students, where they scored, and then we're gonna put together, like, because MAP does this for us when we analyze the data, it puts together what skills they're lacking, and it explains why they scored there. So then that's how we make our groups, and that's how we try to build that skill up to get them at grade level. Another thing that we do, especially last year I started doing this, and again, I understand I'm a dork, it's okay, all of you are probably thinking it right now because I'm so excited to talk about this, but by teacher, I'll break down the data. So I'll pull teachers in and say, hey, here's where we're at with your 23 students, I see 18 of them scored here, and this skill is missing. Like, what can we do to get these 18 students to get this skill in your classroom? Because right across the hall, the same exact skill, there's only like 2 of them that are lacking that. So how can we collaborate together? How can we work together? What is this teacher doing that can give you pointers and vice versa? So again, collaborating, taking that universal approach and meeting all kids' needs. Okay. Also, different this year, I broke some things down just by students who are supported on IEPs for academics. So this is an academic piece of data. So when I say IEPs for academics, I'm talking about learning disabilities. So there's a disability there that is causing the struggle. So when we look at this, we are now looking at the 25th percentile or lower, is where we are kind of trying to target our students with disabilities, again, on the academic side. So doing that exact same piece, we're now trying to get them at that 40th percentile, and using the same strategies that we use in the general education side of things, but now working together with our special education team, figuring out when it's best to push in, pull out, how we group kids, and all the pieces that go with the IEPs. And if you see the next slide, you're gonna see those numbers. Like we can do it. When you're looking at these numbers, like we can grow kids, and we have such good pieces in play right now. We have some different things that we're doing with ELA. We have Erin Morrison helping us, a new staff member. She is now support staff and really helping Kelly Stevenson and moving forward with, you know, the System 44 and breaking down the phonics and all those pieces that kids need first in order to be able to read fluently and do their thing. And same with math. I mean, we're sitting, you can see it 3-2, we can do it. And then our last one, our overall well-being goal. At the end of the year, there's surveys that go out to students, families, just checking in on everyone, always wanting feedback because everybody's voice truly matters. And with this goal, we want to make sure that 90% of our students feel that they are accepted at the intermediate school, not only by like their peers, but also staff members, and that's according to the end of the year data. The way that we do this is with our again, our tier 1 instruction that every single student is getting, and that is our SEL stuff, so our social emotional learning through Character Strong. It's everything that we're doing in our morning meetings with Responsive Classroom and promoting that kindness and respect for everyone, offering the different counseling service or mental health services, and just continuing to create a safe space for students and staff to express their emotions if they feel it's needed. And as you go to the last slide here, these are the results from last spring, and to break this down, this is what children reported to their parents. So you can see the green is agree, and the bottom is safe, respected, and accepted. So you can see, like, yeah, our numbers are high, but what worries me is why do some students still strongly disagree? So, or what, like, why do we have any we shouldn't have any disagree. Every single kid that walks through our doors should feel accepted, feel safe, like be so excited to be there. So that's what we're aiming for. We do not want any blue, red, or yellow, because yellow is neither disagree or agree, so I don't get that one. We'll just make that go away.
And I'm worried about you.
I might be. I'll have to talk to Rachel. There is a possibility. So yeah, so that's breaking down the intermediate score right now. A huge shout out to all the staff. They've been doing an amazing job. And again, being led by the dork who is so obsessed with data, like the pressure's put on them, especially when I break things down by classroom, by content, by what we're doing, and, you know, making sure that we continue to move forward collaborating. It's the only way that we can continue to increase our academic achievement, and I look forward to talking to you guys again when the state report cards become public, and then we'll. That's all.
Questions for Julie Board? Yeah. Awesome, thank you. Go get your eyes checked. All right, I will. Next up, Lindsay, elementary school.
So the OES parent-teacher conferences, hi Gavin.
Bye, Gavin. Bye, Gavin.
The OES, parent-teacher conferences are Tuesday, the 17th, and Wednesday, the 18th, from 3:30 to 6:30. And, our scholastic book fairs are in December and May. So for the October conferences, we have had a book fair, through Usborne Books, recently. Well, they have a new name now, so it's Paper Pie, but it is like the same thing, so I'm told. And so, it's just another opportunity for people to purchase great books for their homes, and then proceeds, are donated to classroom libraries, which is always exciting. Our kindergarten, first and second grade classes have been enjoying the aquatic center. We started going over on our available days at the end of September. And so all of the K through 2 students will get to swim at the pool. They love that. OES is very pleased to be working with Sue Curtis, who is a consultant, to help us learn and grow and adapt and adjust to better serve all learners as we navigate behavioral challenges. And I had the absolute pleasure of delivering class pets to our classrooms. They're stuffed animals, but they are very cool wild animals to fit our theme, and they have lots of specific purposes, but the biggest one to really build the classroom family and to have just a little bit of magic in the classrooms and some fun. And it's been really exciting to see all of a sudden sometimes the class pets will have like a pet bed from home come in for them to have, or if the pet likes Uno, they'll have an Uno game that they're all of a sudden playing. So it was really fun, and also helps with the class job piece, which ties into having a sense of belonging and purpose in classrooms, which will help everybody feel more positive.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Item C is school board committee report. So we have tonight, and then we have a closed session meeting on October 3rd. Oh, I missed Becky and Shannon. Deeply apologize.
I just have, kind of resonating with what Debbie said, that on Friday they'll finalize the numbers, and then we'll come back, next week, I believe, right, on the 25th, and finalize them.
Sorry, apologies. Thanks, Jen. Anybody want to report on tonight's committee?
Tonight was a lot of discussion on the elementary school. Oh, do you want to do it? Oh, okay. On the elementary school options, had 3 options we were looking at. Went through those along with looking at or taking a first look at costing. And then along with that, what it meant for the mill rates. So that in a nutshell is what we covered.
Okay, thank you. Item 6 is improving our academic achievement with accountability through data-driven practices. Review and approve our third Friday in September people power report. Kaisa. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 7, improving our instructional strategies supporting student learning. Item A is review and approve early college credit program and start college now application.
I think one important thing to note on the Start College Now I've been working with, 2 of our teachers, so we have Start College Now early college credit program, and we have our DCAP program through UW River Falls, where, Teresa Ellison and Jeff Bond can teach, the kids can get transcript or college credits while teaching AP Bio and AP Stats. Because of the accreditations of our English teacher, our students now that are in AP Lit and AP Language this year will also be afforded that opportunity. In addition, next year, our science teacher will be able to offer AP Physics, and he's almost certain, we've been working hard to get him to offer an astronomy class, which would also be a 1-trimester class for college, that kids could have the option to take college credit for that, so.
And will the students and teachers be more excited
I
about
think
that?
both, yeah. Well, we have kids every year, but it's really a hard one to fit in, and then where does it fit in their major? And so you'll see like AP test participation in those classes is down drastically, because some would be like, oh, your kids are taking AP, the same number of kids are taking those classes, it's just a no-brainer to take the college classes to UW River Falls, because you get a college, so our kids, if they take AP Lit, AP Lang, AP Physics, AP Biology and AP Stats, you're talking, upwards of 16 to 20 credits that they can walk out of high school with a transcript, through UW River Falls, so.
Pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah. Alright.
Make the motion to approve that applications.
Alright.
As presented.
Motion by Jan,
Second.
second by Kaisa. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed would be nay. That is approved. The school board will be attending the WASB Regional Training Event on October 19th, 2023 in Riverside, Wisconsin. The next committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, October 25th at 5 p.m. in the district office conference room. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, October 25th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. in the district office conference room. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 1985 1A, deliberating concerning a case which is the subject of any judicial or quasi-judicial trial or hearing before that governmental body. C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, individual contracts.
I'll make a motion to go to executive session.
Motion by Kaisa. Second by Corey. Roll call. Craig?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Kaisa?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
And myself. We were adjourned to executive session. Thank you, everybody.